Hey there, high performers. In today's video, I will talk about one of the main hats an entrepreneur has to wear, which is that of being the CEO of their own business. Of course, I've talked before all the different hats that someone is wearing and having to juggle and the toolboxes I have to work on those, but I wanted to focus today on the CEO hat specifically. There are a few key duties of the CEO. One of the most important is strategic planning. The CEO is the one who has the vision and steers the ship in a certain direction, and being able to provide strategic guidance for the business is incredibly important. Because if you're not being the CEO and guiding your company, nobody else is. So it's just out there sort of floating around without a rudder. You're the only person that can do that. It's possible you have employees doing other parts of the work, but they will not be envisioning where your business should be going. That is definitely all on you, whether you're a one person business or a 30-person business. So, looking at that strategic guidance, I'll break down the ideal components of what that looks like. To have strategic guidance for your business as the CEO and do that part of the CEO's duties, there are three key ideas. One is you have to know what you want, two is you have to develop a plan, and three is you have to execute and monitor that plan. I would say that number one, knowing what you want is actually the most difficult of these. And it's for a really unique reason. In many areas of your business, just working harder and pushing and keeping the pace up can actually serve you very, very well. But in this knowing what you want stage, one of the key things is actually quiet, silence, space, calmness, which is the opposite of this go, go, go you have all the time. It's so easy to stay in that go, go, go all the time and never sit back and think about what you actually want, where you'd like to head. And if you keep just doing, you'll never think about the bigger picture. You'll instead stay in that technician role at the bottom. So by default, to step up into the CEO role, you have to be able to put boundaries around your time and protect little blocks of time to sit and reflect. And this is miserable for many entrepreneurs because your brain is spinning of I could be talking to customers and getting a sale right now. I could be doing the work and getting paid per hour. I could be doing the to-do list is so long, there's no time. So carving aside this time is its own special skill to sit and reflect on what you actually want. Um, Another part of this knowing what you want is getting inspiration if you feel stuck. In a previous video, I talked about the board of directors as an idea of this concept of areas of inspiration and mentorship for the CEO. Again, this can be podcasts, books, other owners, business consultants like myself. There's a wide variety of ways to get inspired, but sometimes that can really jumpstart these thinking periods for you and help you stay focused in that. Also, the idea sometimes of having someone sitting next to you while you're thinking, maybe you're talking it through with them, or even if they're just silent in the room with you while you have your pad and paper out and you're writing things out, that can be incredibly helpful. So, this knowing what you want as the CEO is very difficult because it takes time and space. Where do I want my company to go? What does that actually look like? What is important to me? Not what are the values that other people say I should care about and should be important to me, but what actually matters to you? Where do you actually want to go? That's the important part of this knowing. Number two is developing a plan. And this is key from getting it from that vision stage to actually something you can execute. So you have to take this vision of where you're trying to go and chunk it up into actual individualized steps with clarity. If you skip this step, you can never actually act on the plan. So by breaking it down, step one, I need to do this, and this includes A, B, and C. Step two is this, which includes these items. You might not have all of the details, but the more thorough the plan is, the more you can go back and just stay in technician mode of getting things checked off the list quickly. So having that broken down list is very, very important to create an opportunity to actually execute on this plan that you have. Number two on this is I highly recommend creating a reference of what your plan is. If you develop this plan and it's in your head or across a series of scratch papers, it can take a lot of time to get back into the mode where you understand, remember what the plan is, because you'll get distracted and pulled in a million different directions. So having a one or a few page document that reminds you of what is the plan, what is the order, can be a great reference to jog your memory. So when you step out of the busy everyday world of the business and you have a quick minute, you can look at that, be like, oh yes, I'm executing at this level, at this stage right now. to stay on track for executing that plan. The final part of this is executing and monitoring the plan. So we took time to think about and know exactly what we wanted. We got inspired if we needed some more ideas. We developed a plan with clear step by step actions and a reference that we can use to make sure we know where we are on the plan. Now it's time to actually execute the plan and monitor the plan. So executing is getting down to actually make sure it's a priority. Again, it's very easy to stay just kind of surviving the day to day and not make bigger moves that plant seeds for a better future. Typically, these CEO level plans are what make it so that next month is better than this month, that next year is better than this year. Without that, we're kind of on this stationary bike treadmill that's each day is like the last. So executing the plan is really, really important and making that a priority to carve aside that time. A part of that also includes evaluating how that is going. It might be that the plan that the CEO sat and thought of is not one that can happen in the real world. There are reasons that things need to be pivoted or adjusted. It's swimming uphill, it's not going to work, or in executing it, a whole new opportunity opened up where there's a big chance to just really run after something that you couldn't have foreseen until you were in the acting stage. So, this monitoring and evaluating is really important to make sure that you take advantage of every opportunity, identify obstacles, and overcome them. The other part here of this executing and monitoring is typically it's going to involve pulling in information from the other C-suite hats. I think I talked before, if you're a one-person business, you're probably wearing all these hats. You're probably also the CFO, CMO, COO, CSO. And as the CEO, oftentimes you're not doing this work in a vacuum. You're oftentimes bringing in the CFO for a part of your planning, the CMO, the CSO, the COO, and saying, hey, what type of systems and process do we need to put together? How does the financial planning look like? What type of a savings feels safe? Do we need to adjust pricing? How can we get more customers? So basically, you're going to be bringing data from below you so that your strategic planning can be evaluated and you can make it all work. And that involves orchestrating the specific changing of the hats. So this was a bit of a deep dive into the CEO's job role, especially the part of the strategic guidance he offers a company to give you a framework for beginning to think about what that might look like. Again, if you want extra guidance, I have toolkits, or you can reach out to other areas on the internet to try to find some guidance to develop your ability to have strategic guidance so you're taking your company in a conscious, chosen direction towards your dream future. Best of luck to you. Have a great one.